Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect, starting with the 144,000 governing body of the nation of Yasharallah, and the men, the women, the children, the true believers in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. May he have mercy on you in these last days. It's your brother, I'm now Allah, coming back at you with another quick lesson, and Lord willing, will be edifying. This video is for educational purposes, so fair use, fair use, fair use. This is not being used to monetize or anything, only to educate and read scriptures from the Bible. So again, this video is for fair use, fair use. And so this video came across my algorithm and I saved it for a future lesson, and Spirit gave me scriptures to talk on it and trying to do commentary, because it's very it's only a 9-minute video, and I probably won't only play all 9 minutes, but I will put the link in the description box, because if you're in the Spirit, you're gonna see how these scriptures come to life, and how you can visualize the destruction of America, and what they done to Hiroshima, and how that was a token or a sign to what's to come. Because remember, the Lord said, if you live by the sword, you shall die by the sword, right? So let's get started. Let me rewind it.
Spent more than $2 billion on the greatest scientific gamble in history. It is an atomic bomb. It is a harnessing of the basic power of the universe. With this bomb, we have now added a new and revolutionary increase in destruction. That bomb has more power than 20,000 tons of TNT. We shall destroy their dollars, their factories, and their communications. Let there be no mistake. We shall completely destroy Japan's power to make war.
Now you see it, the so-called white man, the devil, right? And we know that he was given the blessing of the sword. And the modern day sword is a gun, but it's also these missile capabilities, these weapons of mass destruction. And it shows you who created them. We know through the Spirit it was from Yahweh Shem Shai, but we know who is the wicked is, right? We know the wicked is the so-called white man, Esau Edom, pursuing to Job chapter 9 and 24 and Malachi 1 and 4, right? So this is Isaiah 54 and 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith. The smith is the man who creates weapons. He may, in the ancient times, created knives, spears, shaped them out, very sharp cutting instruments to destroy. And today, this modern day smith is your German and mainly your German scientists, which are from the tribe of Teman. Okay, and so the Lord is telling you in this precept, he created that motherfucker. All right. And let me get a 1 second here. One second. So this always happens when you start doing a lesson. Sometimes a precept will come to mind, and you gotta find it, because it adds to the lesson. So give me 1 second. Salaki. I'll just do this. Okay, yeah. 1 second here. Oh, see, I've just missed it. Need some glasses. All right, Proverbs 16:4. It says, "The Lord have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil." As you can see, this is an evil situation that's about to go down in Hiroshima. And you can see the president at the time, I believe that was Truman. Let me fact check that. Here we go. Yep, I was right. It was Truman, the 33rd president, who uh Harry S. Truman was the 33rd president of the United States, authorized the dropping of the atomic bomb on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August of 1945. This decision was made to help bring an end to World War II. See, this is how you know this is the devil, but this is how you know this is how peace is won through destruction. I just read it to you. But now let me get back to this precept. So now we know who this modern day Smith is. All right. It says, "Behold, Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and have created the waster to destroy." And why is it called a waster? Well, we're going to see here. 1 second. Gotta look up one more precept. All right. Let me get this one other precept. This is Isaiah 14:23. It says, "I will also make it a possession of bittern and of pools of water. I will sweep it." Sweep what? America. As a matter of fact, let me just go up some here. Okay. So we can get the full content. This is Isaiah chapter 14. And I'm going to start at verse 21. "Prepare for slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers." And this is going towards the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. This is again how you know America's going to be destroyed. Okay? It says, "Prepare for slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will make it a possession for bittern," which is basically creatures that's going to be here in America because nothing else will be here. Okay, Tasmanian devils, Komodo dragons, shit like that. It says, "And pools of water, I will sweep it with the besom of destruction." And when what you're about to see is what the besom of destruction is right here. Now, first we know who the Smith is, and he was created by Yahweh Shem Shah. The Smith is the modern day scientist who created the waster, okay, in that same precept to destroy. All right. Now look.
Enola Gay, this is Command. You're clear for takeoff. Over. Copy that, Command. Commencing takeoff now. Over.
should be thinking. Not everybody's gonna understand these precepts. This is why this is for an elect group of men, because they know where I'm coming from. They're relaxing right now. Now they don't look like they have a worry, right? This is precepts that I'm always thinking about, because this is what's gonna happen. You know, the thief in the night precept, which I'm gonna read, Lord willing. But this is what you think of when you see the way these Ammonites, Japanese, were doing their everyday routine, right?
Approaching the initial point, over. Roger, Enola Gay. Confirm weather conditions and visibility over Hiroshima, over. Weather is clear and visibility is excellent, command. Wind speed at altitude is within acceptable parameters for bomb release, over. Confirm payload status, Enola Gay, over. Little boy is secure and armed. Safety mechanisms have been disengaged.
Okay, I forgot. So there was little boy. So little boy was dropped on Hiroshima, and I don't see the 1 second. Slacking. There we go. I'll find the name of the other one as the lesson goes along, because I don't want to hold the lesson up. But the first one was called Little Boy, and there it is. The second one was called Fat Man. So Little Boy and Fat Man. Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima, and Fat Man was dropped on Nagasaki. Okay, there you go.
Over. Enola Gay to command. We are currently at 31,000 feet. Adjusting course for final approach. Over. You are cleared to proceed, Enola Gay. We need to hit the Ioi bridge for maximum impact. What's the payload status? Over. Payload is ready for deployment. Maintaining speed and altitude for optimal drop trajectory. Over. Godspeed, Enola Gay. Command out.
Boom. Stop it right there. Let's get into some scriptures. So we see. Well, you know what? Let me play it. Okay, boom. That's the sweeping age. You saw the dust, all that dust right there. All that's the besom of destruction before you even see the fire in the sky. All right. So let me read that again. Isaiah 14 and 23. I will also make it a possession of bitterns, of the bittern, and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. That's what that mean right there. That's an example right here. Okay. Now, let's go over to Isaiah chapter 13. I'm not going to read all of this because it's going into the prophecies of Babylon. It's going into the destruction of Babylon, right? And Babylon is what? America, okay? It says, Isaiah 13 and 9, behold, the day cometh. So let me read it again. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. You might say, well, that happened over there. But I'm reading to you, this is going to happen here in America. He said, behold, the day of the Lord cometh. He ain't came yet. I don't know what people like thinking about. And I just read to you, he created the waster. You know who he used to create the waster. And we also know that the so-called white man is the devil. He's the destroyer. You saw how calm that white man, Harry S. Truman, said what he was about to do and justified it. And then this is a short film. So it's a reenactment, but it was giving you an idea of how people was living, just like here in America, how people are going to be going about their day to day, and then boom, the Lord going to show up like a thief in the night. It says, I'm reading it again. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and with fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So that applies to, first and foremost, you so-called Negro, Latinos, or Native Americans, because you were given laws, statutes, and commandments to abide by. You have a way of life to live that's separate from this world, that you're supposed to be seeking Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai in the last days. But because you seek the ways of Babylon, you're going to suffer the fate of Babylon. And this is what this is going into. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil. See, you know how the scripture in John 3:16 say, so the Lord sacrificed his only begotten son. So God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. See, that's how you could use this as a understanding of that scripture as well, because he just said right here, I'm going to punish the world for their evil. How could everybody get punished, but then at the same time he going to save the whole world? That shit don't make sense. That's how you know that's talking about Israelites and the elect of Israel. You see, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil. Isaiah 13 and 11. And the wicked for their iniquity. So the wicked is the so-called white man. Let me get this real quick. I already told you, Proverbs 16 and 4, the Lord have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. And the day of evil is what? Jacob's trouble. And when these newts come, this is going to be an evil day right here. Hold up. This is Malachi 1 and 4. I'm sorry. Yeah, 1 and 4. I'll start from the top. Malachi 1 and 2. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, where have you loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. And why does he love you? Because he gave you the law, statutes, and commandments. Because the law, statutes, and commandments is how you live. Will it save you? No. But it can be a guide to keep you out of the way of destruction. And Lord willing, you might be saved, because truth be told, only the hopeful elect know that the law, statutes, commandments won't save them, but yet they teach that you should keep them out of faith, because faith without works is what? Dead. So that's how you show your faith, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And it'll keep you alive that you might be saved. But at the end of the day, you got to be the elect to be delivered. It says, Malachi 1:3, and I hated Esau. So he hated him, but he used him as a weapon to destroy. He put a malicious spirit in him that he can never turn away from, because he's the wicked. And he's going to destroy. He's going to be used in the last day to punish you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans for your disobedience to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And one of those punishments is you're going to suffer the fire that I'm showing you right here in this video. Okay? It says, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build desolate places. In desolate places, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Okay, so if he's got indignation forever, he's telling you right here in this one precept, he said, I will punish the world for their evil. And who is in charge of the world? Let's get it. I said it, but not, I'm gonna read it. Job, because we know who the wicked is. It's the so-called white man, right? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? He's the so-called white man, the waster, or the smith that created the waster. What I'm showing you in this video right here. Okay? It says, I'm going to read it again. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. The terrible is the so-called white man. All right. Let's play a little bit more. Whoa, you see that? You see that shit? Woo! Lord have mercy. Okay, now let's man. Woo! Whoa! Let me read this real quick. Hold up. So now we're gonna go into Isaiah 34. We're gonna read a little bit more on here. Okay, this is Isaiah 34:1. Come ye, Salaki, come near ye nations to hear, and hearken ye people. Let the ear hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. So that's everybody. But we're concentrated right here in America. This is gonna be the bullet. You know how you got a target when you throw darts, and the middle of the target is a big red target, and you trying to hit that. This is America. That's what America is. And this image, this video I'm showing you is an example of what's going to happen to everywhere in America. All right. You saw the detonation. You saw the besom of destruction, which is the sweeping. Now you seeing the scroll and the fire coming. All right. It says, verse 2, Isaiah 34:2. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. What's indignation? Righteous anger. I just read it to you. He said he's coming back to judge the wicked for their iniquity, all right, and punish the earth for all its evil, okay? It says, for the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. So this has already been written. It ain't happened yet, but this already be written. This prophecy got to be fulfilled here. You see, it says their slain shall Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. Everything's gonna be dissolved. When it says heaven, we're talking about wherever this so-called white man is living comfortably at. Okay, mainly in America and Israel. That shit's gonna get dissolved. What do you know can dissolve a nuclear bomb? As we're gonna continue watching in this video, it says, "And the heavens shall be rolled together like as a scroll." Look, that's a scroll right there. Let me rewind it. Let me rewind it. Look at that. Look at that. That's a scroll right there. That's a scroll right there. That's what he talking about. Whether you can hear, whether you can see it or not, it don't matter. I ain't here to convince you. I don't give a shit if you don't even believe me. You can think I'm crazy, but Yahweh Shemel Shai is about to do this shit to America. Okay? It says, and the host and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, all their armies, all America's, all nations' army, the whole nations, all nations is gonna be subdued. Okay, it says, as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as the falling fig from a tree. That's how these nukes gonna look when they come into America. This was one bomb they dropped on Hiroshima, which was the little boy, and then Fat Man on Nagasaki. That was 2 nuclear bombs. But guess what? 200,000 nuclear bombs coming in this motherfucker, Lord willing. It says, verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Idumea is the Greek name for what? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil. Okay? The smith that created the destroyer, the waster. Okay? It says, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of the lambs and the goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of the rams, for the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra. Why he said he has a sacrifice? Because the people are going to be the fuel, the fat, the lambs. That's a representation of human beings. Every nigga in so-called Negro, Latino, Native American walking around here proud and lofty, having your fucking Memorial Day swine cookout, you gonna get it. You gonna be a part of this great American cookout that's coming. Okay? It's gonna be fireworks and plenty of barbecue. And you niggas gonna be the barbecue. You're gonna be roasting right along with your buddy Esau Edom, especially the so-called black woman who love the devil and sell out their brothers, right? Yeah, you're gonna get this is your judgment for all the wickedness that you motherfuckers do here in America, okay? It says, for the Lord have a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Why? For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance. Why? Because of what you did to Israel, number one. Okay? Number two, because of all the wickedness that you perpetuate all over the world. The so-called white man. That's the day of the Lord's vengeance. Not just the so-called white man, but against all the heathen nations. Okay? It says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense to the controversy of Zion. And it says, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, because America is going to be a lake of fire, and the land thereof shall be burning pitch. See that? Now watch this. You see how she just got totally evaporated? You see that? She got zapped. Because that fire gonna be so hot. But look what the Lord's saying right here. This is Zechariah chapter 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherein the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. That is not talking about those small hats over there in Jerusalem right now. Remember, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So Jerusalem is wherever the Israelites at. Like I just read to you in Isaiah 34, for the controversy of Zion. This is what he's talking about. And it's going to apply to you niggers that speak against the man of the Lord. You bitches that speak against the man of the Lord. You scoffer and mockers who have the audacity to say that these scriptures that's coming out the way they're being brought out, starting with the Apostle Tahar on down, making videos trying to debunk it. The scriptures say you can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So you're just helping Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? It says, and this is the Salaki, Ezekiel, Zechariah 14:12, and this shall be the plague wherein the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. You just saw that in this video, right? And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Let's look at it again. He just showed you no remorse. He just showed you a baby. Baby's gonna get all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look at that. They just turning into smoke. This is so hot. You niggas don't understand what the Lord about to do to America, bro. Look at that. Nothing you can do. Nothing. Look. Now everything is being burnt up. Let me go to the next precept. Let's keep it moving. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come unexpectedly as a thief. This is what these people are experiencing. You see what they were doing, just chilling. And look what happened. It says the heavens will pass away with a terrible noise. Okay? What's the noise going to be? It's going to be these nuclear bombs. Okay? It's going to be these nuclear bombs. That's going to be the terrible noise when they hit this ground. It says, and the very elements themselves shall disappear in the fire. The people are the elements. Everything, the thought process, the philosophies of America, right? And the very elements themselves will disappear in fire, and the earth and everything on it will be found to deserve punishment. This is why the Lord, he say, I'm going to punish the earth for all its evil, all the wickedness, right? It says, since everything around us is going to be destroyed like this video I'm showing you, it says, what holy and godly lives should you live? Yeah. What holy and godly lives should you live, looking forward to the day of the Lord and hurrying it along? On that day, he will set the heavens on fire and the elements will melt away in the flames. And I read that in the NLT Salakia. So look. Look at that, man. Now you seeing more of the besom of destruction. Look at that smoke, that dust. Look at that. That's it right there, bro. This is Psalms chapter 37, verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospers in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. So don't worry. If you're repenting, if you're giving your life over to Bashim Shai, and you're waiting, and you know the only way out is to be delivered through via chariot, that's truly the only way. then don't fret not at his wicked devices. That includes his MOTB, okay? Because all those things are going to have to happen before we even see these nuclear bombs coming, okay? It says, verse 37, Psalms 37 and 14, Salakia, the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. Who's the poor and needy? The elect of Israel. It says, and to slay such to be upright conversation. It says, their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. In other words, when they draw their swords, the same sword that they created gonna come back and destroy this motherfucker. That's what that means right there. It says, oh, let me get the next precept. Psalm 37 and 34. This is the point. Wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. What land? Look, America gonna be destroyed, will never be inhabited, and the land of Israel gonna be destroyed, and that land's gonna be get rebuilt up off the backs of the wicked ass Edomites who don't get destroyed on this side over here in America. Okay, you talking about your bankers, your super elite, rich, Edomites? They're going into captivity, pursuing Isaiah chapter 14. All right, it says, wait on the Lord and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked, we know who the wicked is. Yes, you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, you are wicked. But the so-called white man is the wicked, the border of wickedness. He says, when the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. We gonna see it. And this how we gonna see it. Just like this. Above in a chariot, Lord willing. So Lord willing, this was edifying and straight to the point. I want to give all praises and all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.